Imagine walking through a forest 10,000 years ago. You hear branches snapping, heavy footsteps. Something enormous is moving nearby. Then it steps into view. It's not a bear, not a mammoth, not a predator. It's a cow, or at least something that would eventually become one. But this animal looks nothing like the cows we know today. It's taller, stronger, more aggressive. Its horns are massive. And if it decides to charge, there's a good chance you're not surviving. These wild cattle were known as aurochs, and for thousands of years, humans feared them, hunted them, avoided them. Yet somehow, ancient humans achieved something that sounds impossible. They transformed these giant wild beasts into the farm animals we see today. So how did humans turn wild cows into farm animals? The answer took thousands of years and completely changed human history. At first, humans didn't tame cattle. They hunted them because wild aurochs weren't easy to control. An adult aurochs could weigh over 1,000 kilograms. They were fast, powerful, and extremely dangerous when threatened. In fact, many scientists believe they were among the most intimidating animals ancient humans regularly encountered. So the obvious question is, why would anyone even try to tame them? The answer was simple. Food. A hunted animal provides food once. A living animal could provide food for years, and that realization may have changed everything. But here's where the story gets surprising. Ancient humans didn't wake up one morning and decide to domesticate cattle. It happened slowly, very slowly, over hundreds of generations. Scientists believe early farmers began by keeping young calves. Calves were easier to manage, less dangerous, more adaptable. Some may have been orphaned after hunts. Others may have been captured and raised near human settlements. And over time, something unusual started happening. The animals that tolerated humans survived. The animals that were extremely aggressive often didn't. Without realizing it, humans were selecting for behavior, generation after generation. The calmest animals stayed. The wildest animals disappeared. And eventually, those small changes began to add up. Scientists call this artificial selection. Humans weren't changing cattle directly. They were choosing which cattle reproduced, and nature did the rest. Over thousands of years, cattle became smaller, less aggressive, more social around humans. Their bodies changed, their behavior changed, even their brains changed. In a way, humans were quietly reshaping an entire species. Long before anyone understood genetics, long before anyone knew what DNA was. But cattle weren't the only ones changing. Humans were changing too. Because once people could keep animals nearby, everything became different. For the first time, food wasn't entirely dependent on hunting. Families could stay in one place longer. Villages began to grow. Populations increased. And slowly, human civilization started taking shape. Which means the story of cattle isn't really about cattle. It's about one of the biggest turning points in human history. The moment humans began transforming nature instead of simply surviving inside it. What's even stranger is that modern cows still carry the legacy of those ancient wild beasts. Beneath the calm farm animal we recognize today lies the descendant of a creature that once dominated forests and grasslands across Europe, Asia, and North Africa. A creature powerful enough to challenge hunters, strong enough to inspire fear. And yet, through patience, observation, and thousands of years of selective breeding, humans transformed it into something completely different. Not through force, but through generations of tiny decisions. And maybe that's the most fascinating part of all. They often think of giant inventions, cities, machines, technology. But one of our greatest achievements happened so slowly that nobody living at the time could see it. A wild animal became a farm animal. A hunter became a farmer. And the relationship between humans and nature changed forever. Because the story of the cow isn't just the story of an animal, it's the story of how humans learned to shape the world around them, one generation at a time.